premises our attention. We are here for each other. And with that, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Angela McCalla from the Women's Front of Rhode Island. Thank you, and focus on this.
Yes, y'all. Please don't focus on the symptom. Let's focus on what the real problem is. My name is Angela McCalla, and I am the Policy and Advocacy Program Director for the Women's Fund of Rhode Island. I am also a Newport City Council member, and I am the second woman of color to serve in over 70 years. And I am the first woman from the LGBTQ plus community. Sorry, y'all making me nervous. I am here today as a coalition member, and I want to express that we women out here today, we are angry and we will not go down without a fight. More and more, we have stepped up to the plate in our households, in education, and we are the backbone of the American economy. Despite our successes, we are often the first to be asked to take a pay cut, leave our jobs, in working conditions where the cost of living keeps rising and our basic needs are threatened. And we are here today where our governmental leaders are forcing the women of our nation to carry unwanted pregnancies. We at the Women's Fund of Rhode Island stand in fierce opposition to the Supreme Court decision reversing Roe v. Wade. For decades, our organization has fought to ensure that women have the right to choose abortion, including the fight resulting in the passage of the Rhode Island Reproductive Privacy Act in 2019. People cannot truly be equal or free if they don't have control over their own bodies and reproductive lives. The decision about whether, when, or how to become a parent is one of the most important life decisions we can make. Forcing someone to continue a pregnancy against their will and denying abortion care is a violation of their freedom and humanity. And we at the Women's Fund of Rhode Island maintain that all people deserve the right to control their own bodies. Criminalizing reproductive health is an injustice to the many women and organizations that have fought for decades for women's rights to choose what happens to her own body. Some states will continue to provide access to abortion, but for many, abortion will be harder to access and family planning providers will become inundated, as every state with functioning clinics has the potential to be overrun. Women who have miscarriages are going to come under a lot of suspicion. Poor and disadvantaged women will become especially vulnerable and scrutinized. Women who may show up to the emergency room having a miscarriage, it is going to be, what did you do to cause this? And who are we talking about? Well, we are talking about our Black and Latino, and we are talking about our working poor, and we are talking about our LGBTQ plus community. And we know, despite this decision, women will still continue to have abortions, but we know just how they're going to be doing it. Being forced into some underground, shady clinic, a motel room, or worse, they take matters into their own hands because they can't afford it. Women have died and will die because of this. Don't tell me about the foster and adoption care industry as an alternative when we know nationally that there are about 400,000 children in the system with nowhere to go. Don't tell me that everything will work out and be just fine when our people have to choose, when you have never had to choose between paying your rent and feeding your children. And don't tell me that they will make exceptions for rape and incest, because what you are really saying is that you are condoning rape and incest. The very people who would deny a woman the right to choose are the last to provide needed resources for children and young poor families. Today's decision is immoral, indecent, and destructive to these families. Now that I've gaslighted y'all, what can we do? Our policies and our budget should ensure affordable and available abortion care. We must work to ensure that access to abortion care does not depend on who you are, where you live, and how much money you make. And while the clock has run out for our state legislators this legislative session, we will continue to push our General Assembly to pass the Rhode Island Equality and Abortion Coverage Act. I want to also encourage every one of you today to do your part by donating and volunteering with abortion funds, providers, and advocacy organizations that are working to expand access to reproductive services, rights, and freedoms. We can't leave any stone unturned. And more importantly, we must elect legislators who will pass laws to protect all people's rights to bodily autonomy and abortion care. You need to contact your legislators and know who you are voting for. If you don't have one, run. The declaration for the paperwork happens this Monday and is open until Wednesday. And if you have a legislator that does support this important care, help them run. Thank you very much.